end of tomorrow, you can take it away. It's yours to use. It's like a textbook, but a really good textbook. Can you put slide 2 on? Can somebody? Yes. Thank you. So if you look at the slide here, these are the objectives of the training. You should be able to see the slide at either end. But the first objective is to remind you of the goals that have been set for Punjab. We'll come to that in a minute. If you're an experienced EDO, you know about the goals for your district. If you're a new EDO, like if this is your first week as an EDO, you will learn about the goals for your district and how they contribute to the whole of Punjab. Secondly, we want a conversation with you about the challenge of setting targets. How difficult is that? Can we help you make it better? We want to debate with you the role you play. Maybe the role of EDO is changing from how it was in the past to a new role, a new job definition. We want to spend time on that. And tomorrow, we want to talk to the Chief Minister about the changing role of the Executive District Officer. We want to explain to you the concept of a delivery chain. Don't worry if you don't understand it now, we'll explain that tomorrow. We want to introduce you to some new skills of implementation. Finally, we want to discuss with you the culture and behaviours of successful leaders and how you can use that in your day-to-day job. Can we have the third slide, please? Thank you. So you've got the handbook. You will use that all the way through, and all the material you see on the screen is in the handbook. So you've got copies of all the slides. The next slide, please. I want to take you through the timetable. You should have on your desk a new copy of the timetable. It's slightly different from the handbook. We had to change it because the Chief Minister is coming, so we altered the timetable. But this is today's timetable, and we're going to stick to it quite carefully. The first morning till now until the 11:15 break is about goals, targets and objectives, and then after the break we're going to spend time on the role of EDO, and I'll take you through the rest of today's timetable later on, but your facilitator is familiar with this. If you have any questions, you can talk to your facilitator. What I want you to do now, this is the first bit of interaction, and again, facilitators are familiar, so if you don't understand what I say, they will explain for you. You can see at that end of the room a piece of brown paper on a board, and the same at that end of the room. Simon, can you just point to the board, that board there, and Ali, can you just point to that board? Yeah. I want you to take a piece of card. Simon, can you hold up a piece of card? So on your table you have a piece of card like that, and you have some pens, big black marker pens. What I would like you to write on there, big words, preferably in English, is what you hope or expect to learn from this event. So some outcome, something that by the end of tomorrow, one outcome that you'd like to learn. Just very quickly, don't spend long, don't have a conversation, just 1 or 2 minutes, and then when you've done it, go to the board and stick it on. Okay, do that now. So we have the first card. Okay, now 1 minute left. 1 minute. They already have 2 cards down here. I think it's Rory at the far end. Alright. 1 minute left. This is the time to put your card up, please. Everybody done? Everybody done with card? Okay, right, colleagues, if you could reconvene your tables, please. Could everybody sit down again, please? Thank you very much. Simon, is your board ready? Thank you. How are you doing it, Simon? Great. Can everybody take their seats, please? All right. Now let me tell you a secret. Everything you... Right, please. Attention, please. Everything you put on there, we will photograph and we'll send it to you. So you'll see everything you put on a piece of brown paper, we will photograph and we'll send it to you. So you'll have copies of everything. We'll start at that end. Simon will start. What do you want to report back on?
Thanks, Michael. I think the number one message coming out very clearly is how to meet the targets that have been set. It's put in a number of different ways, but that's a very clear message. How can we achieve 100%? How can we meet the targets? What do we need to do differently that will address the challenge of meeting the targets? So that's the number one top message here. The second message, I think, is around skills and learning some new skills. Some people have said about how we learn about how to be better administrators. Other people have said we want to learn good supervision, administration, and better managerial skills in the delivery system. And the third point we've got is that it's not just about you in this room, it's also about your teams and how you'll take this back and work with your teams and improve their skills as well as your own. So 3 very clear messages from this board.
That is excellent. So, do you want to say anything in Urdu about messages?
जो इस बोर्ड से 3 अहम मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं। सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट मैसेज ये है कि आप किस तरह अपने टारगेट्स को रीच कर सकते हैं और इसके लिए आपको क्या क्या करना होगा। तो ये सबसे ज़्यादा EDOs में कहा है, तो ये सबसे अहम चीज़ है कि टारगेट्स को किस तरह अचीव किया जाएगा। दूसरी सबसे अहम चीज़ जो इस बोर्ड पे नज़र आ रही है वो ये है कि आपकी मैनेजमेंट कैपेसिटी किस तरह बिल्ड की जाए, आपको किस तरह एक बेहतर मैनेजर बनाया जाए। और तीसरी चीज़ जो इस बोर्ड पे जो नज़र आ रही है वो ये है कि हम सब यहाँ पे EDOs और DEOs हैं, हम यही स्किल्स जाके अपनी टीम्स को कैसे दें, कैसे हम अपने AEOs को यही चीज़ें सिखाएं तो हम आज यहाँ पर सीखें।
Thank you. So, thank you to Sal and Simon. Most of all, thank you to the people who put the cards on, because that is the agenda for the next day, to learn how to meet those targets, to learn the management skills that are required, and to build the teams to make them effective. What about your end, Simon?
Thank you, Michael. Reassuring that this half of the room was similar to the other half of the room. You had similar things you wanted to learn from the training. Biggest message was how to achieve the targets, teacher presence, student enrollment. Those were two things that you wanted to understand better, how to improve the outcomes against. Second important message, teacher motivation. So how you can get your teachers more motivated, more committed to achieve their goals and improve standards. That was the second important message. And then two very nice cards down the bottom here that I noticed. Firstly, capacity building. So how you improve the capacity of your own teams. Very nice. And just to end on one part at the bottom, to learn new techniques, how I can improve the performance of my district team. And that's essentially what we're going to try and do. Al, do you want to summarise that in a word?
Basically, हमने देखा है कि जो objectives को स्कोर करते हैं वही objectives ज़्यादातर स्कोर पे भी चाहिए हैं। कि तमाम वीडियोस के अनुसार यूजली वो सेम है। जो तीन ऑब्जेक्टिव मेन है, बेसिकली एक तो रोड मैप के जो टारगेट्स हैं वो अचीव करना, दूसरा ये कि टीचर को किस तरह प्रोफेशनल किया जाए, मोटिवेट किया जाए, और आखिरी पॉइंट है वो ये है कि प्रोफेशनल रोल आप एज EDO कैसे अदा कर सकते हैं और टीचर को कैसे प्रोफेशनल बनाया जा सकता है। तो बेसिकली जो वो हाथ था और ये हाथ था तमाम वीडियोस के मुताबिक नमो बेस एक जैसे।
Thank you very much, Shukriya. Now, what I want to do is just move us on to the first priority you both identified, which is about goals and targets. Can I have slide 5, please? Thank you very much. So our agenda for the next 2 days has 4 elements, and you can see them on this slide. You can look at either end, it's the same slide, and the slide is also in your handbook. The first thing which we're going to talk about is goals, targets, and objectives.